Hey guys, Dov here with another battle for Total War Warhammer 2. We're here with the Empire. They're going to be taking on the Dwarves. Apparently, Karl, FRANZ, and Felix did something very, very wrong because BELEGAR is angry. He's brought his throng to settle some grudges. So let's have a look at the armies here. Karl leading the way with Felix. Got a couple of flagellants here hidden in the woods with some pistoliers. Going to get immediately spotted by a gyrocopter. For the rest of the Empire army, got some more great swords. 5 great swords, I should say. Sigmar's Sons, a couple more flagellants, another gyrocopter for the dwarfs out in the periphery there. And for the main force, we've got cannon, thunderers, quite a few thunderers here, a bunch of miners with blasting charges, and longbeards, iron breakers protecting the flanks, single unit of slayers, and as mentioned, BELEGAR iron hammers. So pretty straightforward build. And this Empire infantry force is going to take a shelling on the advance. You can see the Amber Wizard for the Empire going to fly out on his Pegasus. Interesting choice to have him on the Pegasus and not on the Griffin. It's not that much more expensive to take him on the Griffin. Like for me personally, I think it would be worth downgrading one of these swordsmen, one of these great swords, just to a regular swordsman, be able to afford the Griffin there on the Amber Wizard, specifically for the armor piercing damage here. The Terror is nice. It's not super critical, but looks like we are going to have a Manticore summon help with this advance here. Felix and Karl on foot together is a pretty nice little goon squad. Felix up to 60 melee defense with the hold the line, and of course then Karl can also confer some other buffs. Doesn't look like he has stand your ground. Might prove to be a mistake, we'll see. But CYCLIN Runefang is here. No Galmaraz, obviously. The extra armor piercing is nice, but the bonus versus large isn't necessarily valuable here, so you don't get the full value from it. But we do have some Sterling's Revenge out here as well. They're able to fend off one of these units of gyrocopters pretty effectively there. And the Empire advance is coming through. We got Pistoliers in the back line here. BELEGAR is doing a good job having his dwarves protect the cannon here, but yeah, the Manticore is going to drop down. Looks like we've also got an Amber Spear attempted side shot, but it's not going to do nearly as well through the air. This is a lot better used on the ground. Yeah, but the Manticore comes in. It is able to disrupt this unit of Thunderers here. Meanwhile, Karl and Felix get in, they start mixing it up with these Iron Breakers. Unfortunately, these great swords not really able to follow up on initiative. They have taken quite a few shots already from the cannon, taken some blasting charges here, and now, yeah, I mean, their 90 armor, 95 armor will help against those blasting charges somewhat, but still, basically free damage from low-tier units. Not necessarily the greatest. More great swords following up over here, no pun intended, and BELEGAR way over chasing on some Pistoliers here, but still managing to rout them just from his sheer aura, which is not really surprising. But Karl and Felix are going to be quite a menace here. 68 defense on the Iron Breakers, though, does mean that they'll be able to hold okay. But great swords come in, they get that CYCLIN Runefang. There's only 30 of them left, so how much damage can they actually do? But they should be able to get a few hits in. This Steam Gyro that's been out on this side, not having the Pistolier kind of mirror this gyro, in my opinion, is a little bit of a mistake. They've been able to use up most of their ammo and just ruin this unit of great swords, basically for free, which is pretty painful. The Pistoliers did come back from rout, though. They're in this back line area now and kind of come in, disrupt, and get maybe some rear shots or charges. Another Manticore summon going to be dropped here. Yeah, shooting the Slayers is basically the best target you can shoot with those Pistoliers, so excellent work there. Meanwhile, over here, the Sterling's Revenge, not really sure. Did they get killed in melee by those gyros or maybe bombed out? I'm not really sure exactly what happened with the Saga over there, but apparently they're just going to wash each other out, it looks like. That being said, the Manticore drops down. It looks like the Amber Wizard himself also drops down on the cannon here, able to rout away those Thunderers. And yeah, Felix and the Emperor doing their best to kind of break up this flank. We've got one relatively healthy unit of great swords. It's like they're going to charge through and get at these Longbeards here, so we'll come in close. See the Emperor charging through with his Warhammer out. Oh yeah, there's absolutely power slams in there. Felix with his great sword as well. Absolute grudges everywhere. But Belegar is also doing a great job dealing with the Manticore. Once the Manticore gets enraged, it looks like he's got his Slayers on station to help as well. But Belegar is a really strong combatant. Even though he doesn't have the best AP values, 60 attack and defense, both very strong. He's got expert charge defense as well. That mighty Oathstone will give him even more melee defense and give everyone else expert charge defense as well. So he comes in, just absolutely beats down that Manticore with his little one-handed hammer. And we've still got a pretty close battle. The Empire's got a slight advantage on the balance of power here, as a bunch of these dwarf units are getting broken up. But Pistolier's doing a great job drawing away these Slayers, just blasting them in the face. And that should be the end of those Slayers. This Amber Wizard's going to have to be careful, though. The one thing about the Pegasus that is an advantage over the Griffin is a smaller hitbox, right? It is a lot harder to hit, and it's faster, so just generally those ranged units will be less effective against that mount there. But yeah, this little character goon squad here, we'll see what they can do. Flagellant's also pushing up. We've got these Pistoliers also pushing up, so a nice kind of second phase here, as a lot of tattered, kind of pitched engagements various parts of the battlefield here. I'm surprised there's still this many Flagellants left. I mean, of course they'll fight to the death, but generally with their low defensive stats, they get trekked against the dwarves pretty quick, but looks like they're going to do okay. Ekron's Miners here will fight the character goon squad and the remaining great swords. Meanwhile, looks like Belegar's tangling with the Flagellants up on the hill here. Belegar, of course, will absolutely smash these Flagellants. Meanwhile, the Pistolier's coming in and getting interrupted by the gyrocopters in the background there. Beautiful, beautiful game. Got that Amber Wizard up on the hill. Man, this game really is absolutely gorgeous. Even when it is two Order factions fighting, bringing all of the grudges and sadness to the world. Still a beautiful game. And we are fighting on one of the Nagorond maps, which is, I feel somehow appropriate given the level of madness going on here. But yeah, if Carl and Felix could team up to take out Belegar, they could probably deal with him relatively quickly. Let's see, it looks like they're going to try and do that, but Carl can't wade through the thickness of the Longbeards to get at him. Looks like Belegar is going to pull away there, sensing that that engagement's probably not the best for him. But if he can get around and get at Felix himself and try and take him out, you know, route him away, then Carl won't be healing. And that's going to be huge into the late game here, potentially, as this character squad will be able to grind through a lot of dwarves, even with the rest of the Empire army being pretty tattered. We've still got that Amber Wizard, Sigmar's Sons, a handful of them, a handful of Flagellants here and there. Two Slayers with 43 HP between the two of them. So we're going to keep it close as Belegar comes in and delivers a righteous blow. Is Belegar actually like cycle charging Felix? It looks like Belegar is actually cycle charging Felix, which, believe it or not, is actually what he should be doing. 30 charge bonus doesn't seem like much, but it puts him up to 90 melee attack. And keep in mind that with Hold the Line, Felix is at 60 melee defense, right? So that 30 charge bonus actually will make the difference if Belegar continues to cycle charge. And I can't believe I'm saying that sentence out loud. Like, I can't believe I literally just said those words in real life. So that's a thing. And will it work is the question. You can see how Belegar is like maneuvering away from the Emperor, like no, I don't want to fight FRANZ. I want to fight Felix. Because FRANZ, now don't confirm me on this, but it seems like FRANZ has 1,000,000 melee attack. I don't really know if that's true, but maybe I've just seen some really lucky RNG lately with him, but once the Flagellants are gone, then Belegar can properly cycle charge more or less with free will if he can get a full surround. That being said, Felix and Carl are blending through this dwarf infantry at a pretty alarming rate, so it's not like Belegar can take too long with the cycle charging, but he comes in with the charge there. The gyrocopter is going to come in, help use their mass to kind of block things up a little bit. But yeah, just hit and run with Belegar, and you can see Felix is at his healing cap, so this is actually kind of working. And despite the fact that the Empire is ahead on the balance of power, I mean, the Dwarves can more or less impose their will at this point because of the superior numbers. That being said, Karl is still going to be a menace, and if Karl can deal with Belegar, looks like, I don't know if that attack was fully targeted on Belegar there, will be massive. Like, Belegar is the linchpin holding this all together, right? Here comes the Amber Wizard, too. He's going to have a say in this. He's got a little bit of HP left, and at this point, I think, is really where you would be much better off having the Griffin. I mean, honestly, he hasn't taken too much fire throughout the course of the game, and having the Griffin would have meant, obviously, dealing with those gyrocopters much better in melee if you could catch them. I mean, it'd be harder to catch them, but just having a bit more HP and the terror in this late game situation with a big rear charge into Karl would have been pretty decisive, I think. Been able to rout away, I mean, obviously not the Longbeards, but maybe like the Miners potentially, but get a good rear charge, maybe get even just like 1 or 2 solid hits on Belegar himself with that high charge bonus of the Griffin. The armor piercing obviously is huge here, and just the extra HP of you know, the Griffin might come in handy here. The Amber Wizard still 1300 HP at the moment, but we are going to fast forward somewhat through this as Felix gets chased off by the gyrocopters. The Amber Wizard attempts to save him, but meanwhile the Emperor is blending through what's left of the Dwarven infantry. They are slowly but surely getting whittled away. The question is, can Belegar beat Karl? Belegar is really, really low at this point. Only 380 HP left, so it kind of just comes down to Iron Breakers and Longbeards and a few Miners with blasting charges fighting the Emperor of Mankind. So yeah, we'll see. We've got this one Flagellant here with 2 HP. He's going to charge these Longbeards. Oh, yep, he's dead. As to be expected. So we'll continue to fast forward a little bit here. The Amber Wizard is going to drop a Flock of Doom, which is nice, but Karl here is kind of getting worn down a little bit. The high melee defense of the Dwarves, maybe Karl doesn't just auto-hit like he does in Tabletop, because he actually gets worn down. Belegar comes in, gets a few good RNG hits, and Karl actually misses on a few key melee attacks and gets routed off just like that. How about that? Honestly, I was kind of stunned at that finish. I thought for sure Karl would take that, but I guess just a few bad RNG rolls and kind of just getting pounded by those Iron Breakers, I guess, is what really did him in. I'm not really sure. Cycle charging with with Belegar, maybe? I don't know. Somehow Karl lost that engagement. I have to just put that down to RNG, I'm sure. But still, very, very close game. Super well played to both players. Big thanks to you, Maze, for posting that one. Yeah, as far as the build goes, personally, you can see the great swords, obviously, in a lot of cases, didn't pay for themselves super well. Yeah, I don't know. I might have just cut 1 or 2 of them down to swordsman in order to afford this Amber Wizard, upgrade him to have the Griffin. Again, just that extra little bit of armor piercing and terror might have been the decisive factor in the late game. Likewise, rather than using Amber Spear, just sticking purely with Flock of Doom, it's not super efficient against the Dwarves because they obviously have magic resistance, but still it's better than nothing, and that kind of tiny little bit might have made the difference. Obviously, RNG might have made the difference there at the end, and the Empire definitely still had a chance, absolutely, to win that. The Dwarves kind of getting a little bit of a lucky break there, but that's just how the game goes sometimes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that one. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.